Hey ladies! Today I wanted to talk all about our double-ended brushes. Like I said, they are double-ended, 2 for 1, big bang for your buck, and they are just absolutely glorious and luxurious feeling, and they will make such a difference to your cream application. Obviously, you can use them with all the rest of your makeup you have at home as well, but if you're struggling with your cream foundation, picking up a brush is going to be the way to go. I wanted to show you how to use them all and also where to place the products on your face. I also want to just give a quick touch to the brush cleaner if you have not picked this up, and even if you're not a Saint user, this brush cleaner is absolutely amazing. You just spray it on the end of your brush. It's what we call a dry cleaner. No need to soak your brushes overnight. You just spritz on the end and swirl that onto a cloth, and your makeup brushes are clean, sanitized, dry, and ready to go for that makeup application, and your skin will thank you not putting all of those germs on your face. So these are the 3 brushes that I will typically recommend when starting out with your Saint makeup. We have the blush bronzer brush, the detail brush, and the 3D brush. Now, keep in mind when it comes to your makeup, it is your preference. So when you're thinking about brushes, you also want to think about your coverage. If you're somebody that likes a really light, natural coverage, you will want to lean more towards a brush that is on the fluffier end, like the 3D or the blush and bronzer. The small ends are nice and fluffy. These ones are a little bit kind of light to medium coverage, whereas for example, if you get the blend brush, this brush you can really tell has a nice fluffy end. This is going to give you a beautifully light coverage for your foundation if that's something you're leaning towards. And then you can head a little bit into the opposite direction. If you're looking for more of a fuller coverage, you're going to want to maybe step up into the Buffy brush. This is our most dense brush, and you can tell those bristles are compact in there both sides, so that's going to give you a really full coverage look. Today I will use the 3D, so I'm just taking my main highlight on the rounded end, and I'm just placing my main color where I'm wanting a little bit of coverage. I just like a light coverage personally. This is where it kind of can be personalized to you. I'm just taking this where I want a little bit of coverage on my acne or on some kind of redness. If you're looking for a more full coverage, you might want to take a little bit more of the product over more of the area of your face. That's where it's really customized to you. You can also take the small end of the blush and bronzer brush and tap that in, give you a little bit of a medium coverage as well. Another option is actually to use the detail brush, and you can use the flat side. It fits nicely in that line under your contour. And then obviously if you're wanting more of a dense coverage, you can tap on with that buff brush, or a lighter coverage you can feather on with your blend brush. Next up is contour. So you could actually use either side of the 3D brush, just kind of blending that in, or using the pointy end to kind of chisel that out. Or you can also use either side of the buff brush, the small end, to get into that chiseled cheekbone, or also the large end. My favorite to recommend is the detail brush. It has a nice sharp edge here to really get that crisp contour line. If you want to be even more precise, you can even use the small end to get into those spaces as well. Let's use the 3D brush on one side, and we'll use the detail brush on the other side just to show you. So you can take that product on your detail brush, and you're just going to tap that along your cheekbone. It's going to kind of come up on the edge of your temple into the edge of your forehead. I also like this to do the edge of your nose, and you can also contour underneath your lip, and you can also contour along that jawline. On this side, let's use the 3D brush. I'm going to use the pointed end just to show you. You can take that along your cheekbone, up into your forehead, and down along your jawline. You can do your nose here as well. Then for your brightening highlight, you can use the small end of the detail brush, the pointed end of the 3D brush, get right in your brightening corners. You could also use the buff brush if you're wanting a little bit more full coverage. I love the small end of the blend brush as well, just to kind of feather in there. So the options are endless. So let's use the small end of the detail brush, and I'm just going to place this in the corners of my eyes and kind of out on the edge of my eye for a little lift. You can bring this into the center of your forehead, down the center of your nose, down the center of your cupid's bow, and your chin if you like a little brightness down there. The next part of our 3D makeup routine is your blush. So to place that, you can use the round end of the 3D brush, the smaller end of the blush bronzer brush, or I even like to place it with the small end of the blend brush and then blend it out that way. Today I will show you using the blush and bronzer brush, and you just want to place that almost between your brightening and contour. So you just want to place that on the high parts of your cheekbones. Once you have your basic face on, now's the fun part. We get to blend. There's a few ways you can do this as well. I like to use the blush and bronzer brush, and you can just swirl little circles to kind of blend these creams together. You do want to be careful that when, especially you're blending with your brush, you're kind of wanting to lift the face. So you're blending everything kind of up and out. Careful when you get into your eyes with the brush. That's why I almost like the sponge, just to get in there and really blend in that crease in the corner there and down the nose. Just kind of blending that outer portion and melting those creams all together. Another way is using a perfector sponge. I have wet this in the sink with water, really wrung it out, so there is literally no water to feel. So you're just really pouncing the perfector sponge all over. I really like this getting up into my under eye area to help with a little bit of creasing. Just kind of pressing the edges of your creams and really melting that into your face. Now that you've blended, this is when you can go in and add a few of those extras. So I like to bronze. I like to use, obviously, the blush and bronzer brush, the big end. I just swirl that in my bronzer, and I'm just going to warm up the face, kind of hitting the high parts of my forehead and the high parts of my cheekbones. This is going to add that sun-kissed glow to your face, just as if you were out on the beach. You can just warm up your face with the bronzer. You could also do this with your blend brush, just the little fluffy side, to kind of really give you a nice warm glow that way as well. Next, you can use either the blend as well to place your illuminator. I like to just put it on a little bit with my fingers, again, just onto the high parts of the cheekbone to add a little bit of shimmer. Catch the light there. This is the illuminator Honey. I like to place it on my nose and the top of my lips, just to add a little bit of shimmer. If you want to get really fancy, you can kind of place that to the inner corners. And like I said, you can use the blend brush as well to give a little illumination there as well. I almost forgot our lip and cheeks on our lips as well, so you can just put a little lip and cheek onto your lips there to finish off your look. And the last thing I want to show you today and touch on is just a few of our smaller brushes. We have the eyeshadow brush, which is an amazing beginner eyeshadow brush. If you don't have a nice brush in your collection, I highly recommend this one. You get a nice big fluffy end to really blend those shadows, get into that crease nice, and then there's a nice stiff rounded edge to really kind of smoke out the outer corner and really define that crease. So this is an amazing beginner eyeshadow brush. Another eyeshadow brush we have is a smudge brush. It's like a thicker domed end, a little bit of a flatter edge on this side. I also really like this brush for a little bit more detail work, so coming into contour the nose with the rounded end. I also like to kind of take this with my main foundation color and really target some blemishes if I'm having a bad face day. So I love the smudge brush. The multitasker brush is, as the name says, super versatile and multitasking. I like to use this flat edge as a lip brush. You can use the pointy edge to do your brows, to line your lips, again, to get a little bit more detailed with your acne placement as an eyeliner. You can use the flat edge here for your eyeshadow. Super, super versatile brush. And then the last of our little brushes is the line brush. It is a spoolie on one edge, an angle brush on the other. I use this to do my brows. You can also do a little bit of a winged eyeliner look or a little bit of lip line. And obviously the spoolie end kind of fluff up those brows. Once you're all said and done, you want to make sure you set that makeup. I love using our Stay Spray. If you find that you don't like the dewy finish that the cream gives, you can always use our powder brush. This is a flat edge. You can just tap that into our vanilla dust and then press that under your eye. I hope this helped you, and obviously if you have any questions or you're interested in trying the makeup, please reach out to me. I would love to get you your perfect colors. And if you enjoyed this video, I would love if you shared with your friends and family, and be sure to follow along with my page for more makeup tips and tricks.